Hello and welcome to Be Offended with Joe and Tim.
Hi, Joe.
Hello there, Tim. Technical difficulties today. Technical difficulties.
Sober show.
Oh, God.
Difficulties.
It's going to be a rough one.
A real doozy.
Holy shit.
So a couple episodes ago, we had a guest, Bradley Gibble.
Yes, we did. He was a questionable person.
Questionable person, questionable character.
Yeah.
He has not seemed to have caught on in the much like us, other than copycat crimes, because I just saw it and it reminded me of our friend Bradley Gibble. There was a man who was arrested in Kentucky.
Ooh,
he was a serial
Kentucky
burglar,
news.
a 36-year-old man, and all he stole was bras and panties. It was a whole burglary spree. He had 7 houses.
Wow, that's a lot of houses.
And they uncovered approximately 100 pairs of women's underwear and bras that he stole from the 7 houses.
Now, is this a
Bradley
copycat?
Gibble,
or
well,
is
that's what I wonder, is because so for people who didn't listen to the Bradley Gibble episodes, that he was allegedly, because I'm not sure if he's a character or a real person, but he alleges to be a Japanese man who likes to steal women's underwear, and that was his gimmick. And okay, fine. I mean, he wanted to be on the show. We had him on the show. He was very entertaining in a
strangest guest we've ever had.
Much like Howard Stern and his whack pack. You have to do a little heavy lifting. But there has been a lot of news articles of people breaking in just to steal panties. So I don't know. I don't know what to say, Joe. I don't know if he really is a pervert. And that, or he just what the hell was that?
Someone's breaking in.
Hide their panties. Lock up their panties.
Oh, my panties.
I'm gonna have to, instead of a gun safe, you need like a combination on your panty drawer.
Oh no.
What is the going rate for used panties?
I don't know. I don't want that on my browser history.
Okay, because my wife wanted to quit her job a few months ago, and she wanted to make ends meet by selling panties. And we thought you were the man to go to.
I am not the man.
Things.
No, going many years back, Kat the Millennial had confessed
a panty selling business.
Yeah, confessed to I don't know if she did it at one point in time or said she was going to do it. I don't remember the details, but I know that she was the millennial correspondent. Which that's the. She's not really a millennial. She's a Gen. What is it? Gen Z? What are they up to now? We ran out of the alphabet.
I don't. Yeah, they shouldn't have started at X.
They didn't leave much.
Yeah, Generation X, and then the Millennials, and then Generation Z, and then I don't know. I guess they're just assuming we're all going to be dead in 80 years.
It's like the Mayan calendar.
Yeah, somebody somewhere in the science department knows that the Earth is going to be over before the next generation can come up.
Gen Beta? No.
We don't have that many years.
No. We're going to start at X. If we make it that far, we're okay.
So
I just
wanted to get that out. It was been on my list for a while, and it's also a reminder for people. We do have a lot of archives.
Yes.
So if you're just discovering the show now, and you're a little confused about who we are and what we stand for, and some of our callbacks, it's all available. It's on Apple Podcast, Google Play, Amazon,
everything,
Spotify, and every single place.
Grundle,
you just put in Google, Be Offended Radio, and you'll find us everywhere, whatever podcast you like. And go back and listen to the Bradley Gibble episode, and then be a copycat criminal and steal women's panties.
Let's see what kind of segue I have here. wait for this one. Well, I guess we have to. I want to bring it up just because we don't have to talk about it much because I don't like talking about this stuff. But something congruent to our lives has happened overseas in a war-torn area. And we couldn't not at least comment on it that Pornhub has banned themselves from airing any porn in Russia. For those of you listening in the future, this was the time when the Earth was still around and the nuclear bombs didn't go off yet, and Russia just started the problem. That this is what actually caused the nuclear holocaust.
And that's So
we talked about this many years ago.
Voluntarily decided that they were not going to make themselves available to people in Russia.
Yeah, dangerous, very, very, very dangerous.
My theory, going back many seasons and probably even to the Iraq war in 9/11, was that when you have young men who don't have economic opportunity and they have sexual frustration, they tend to go to war, blow themselves up, because they don't have anything to live for. So my theory was, if you want peace in the Middle East, was that actually you should have more pornography. Instead of dropping bombs,
airdropping
you drop pornography. So apparently Pornhub does not subscribe to my theory.
No, they don't.
And they decided in this time of paralleled, unprecedented Russian aggression into its peaceful neighbors, that they would turn off the spigot of pornography. Now, meanwhile, every porno now is Eastern European / Russian.
Yes, they are like the number one source for my type of porn, so I'm very upset.
So it seems like this could be a new arms race, a new Cold War, a new Flaccid War, if you will. The Flaccid War.
You know what? The Cold War and the Flaccid War kind of make sense together.
Because if they don't have the porn hub, they cannot upload the porn to said porn hub. And I feel like now there's going to be a shortage of Russian
repeats
and former Soviet bloc country pornotography in America, which would of course lead to sexually frustrated men in America.
Yeah.
So it's this is something we're going to monitor, people. But I do think
I'm monitoring it daily.
This is a very is a very underreported provocation and it's definitely an escalation of the war.
Yes,
cutting off pornography, and people are talking about the oil, and they're not talking
people are worried about the oil, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no.
There's a more immediate effect. There's a much more immediate effect.
Yeah. What are we going to do with all these unused Kleenex?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if we can tie this in with the panty thieves. Can we airdrop used panties to make up for the lack of porn?
Well, you could always make your own porn, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay, so I invented.
You got me.
You hang on to it. I'll give it to you. There was an invention that I made, patent pending, of pocket porn.
Oh yes.
So I think that if I get the printing presses going,
you get those printing presses,
yes, and do a humanitarian air raid of pocket porn.
Everyone's like having fundraisers,
but both sides
and supplies and for the people in Ukraine, they're saying diapers over, and they're sending over dry goods and cans, and Joe's going to have a fundraiser for pornography on the Russians.
Was it World War I or World War II where they had the ceasefire during Christmas and the Russians and everybody got together for a little Christmas for an hour? This is what it's going to be. There's going to be like an hour where everybody's just jerking off in the corner. Okay, you had a segue and I plowed over it. What was it?
No, so we don't talk politics on the show.
No, apparently we are.
And part of the reason is that because, politicians, me and Joe, we don't really feel like we're being represented. But I think we finally found our guy.
Oh,
He's in Oregon. And he's running on the GOP ticket for governor.
Oh.
And he admitted while running for governor that him and his wife are members of a swingers group.
Whoa. Well,
they're former members.
Okay.
Top candidate of Republican primary for governor admitted that he and his wife had explored a swinging lifestyle before deciding that swapping partners weren't for them.
Wait. There has to be some kind of...
It's like I smoked but I didn't inhale kind of situation.
Yeah, there has to be some kind of like pretense to there has to be some kind of more information involving why it wasn't for them. Like, how many times did they try it out? Was it like was it political cucking? Is that what happened? He got politically cucked, and then he just went into politics.
Well, so he's running for mayor. And apparently somebody screenshotted his 2016 post to a swinger Facebook group, PDX. Hi, everyone. Mackenzie and I are excited to be added to your little community. Some of you we already had the pleasure to meet, and we look forward to getting to know the rest of you. Ooh. Wow, they were into it. So they were the rest. This is probably a big group. The rest of you, they were planning on staying for a while. I mean, that's a lot of
they were invested.
And that pleasure, that wasn't a platitude. We had the pleasure to meet you, which is soon.
Well, wait a second.
So here we go. Yeah, the group had 536 members at the time.
Holy shit!
So he wants to get to know the rest of you. That is a lot of swinging.
Who's hosting this? I'm assuming the mayor
because
he has a big house.
Yeah, I don't
mean when you for the sexually normal people, when you say host, it doesn't mean web hosting. It means who's the house that everybody's going to. Yeah.
Yeah, so he declined to reveal when the mutual relationships began or ended, but he said that they stopped swinging before he started running for governor.
You know what? I think
she's pretty cute too. She's just a normal kind of looking blonde.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a she. I missed the she part.
Well, no, they're swinging. No, he is running for governor, and him and his wife were members of swinging groups.
Got a boner.
So he and his wife. No, well, you could have. Yeah, no, you don't swing by yourself, Joe.
Is that what I've been doing?
Yes. No, you're not. You have to bring a partner to a swinging group.
I just show up alone.
Yeah, that's
to a swing.
Yeah.
I'm just here for the popcorn. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's like a leave a penny, take a penny. It's not like that. No, you actually have to. Yeah, no, it's an even exchange. You know, it's some kind of value. Value has to be exchanged in both directions. You can't just come and take and take and take. No,
I thought they would all be preoccupied, so that there's got to be like
there's just one.
Yeah, or it's like
you were the odd man out, Joe.
It's like the secret like lesbian club thing where the secret. I remember back in the day when we first found out that there was like lesbian like bars and things. There was, I don't know if this conversation was ever had with you, but I know Harry and somebody else, we had a conversation about it, and that it was the secret place to actually pick up chicks was the lesbian bar, because the lesbian bar would always drag along their non-lesbian friends, and that was like the like secret place to go and pick up a chick, apparently. So I think that's how you do swimming. I never went to one. I mean, I've accidentally went into one, but never like on purpose. I was like, oh, there's a lot of women here. Oh, they don't have any hair and a lot of tattoos. Oh, okay.
So it didn't work is what you're saying.
I didn't try. I just, Did we talk about the time I almost got we loved karaoke and we almost went into like a Yakuza. We went into like a Yakuza Japanese like hideout. I remember vividly.
I vaguely remember this.
I remember it vividly.
Did we leave? Or, what, like we thought it was, like we didn't realize it wasn't like it was just like a front.
We were looking. Yeah, we were looking for a karaoke place, and there's like a couple along the strip in Manhattan. And I remember one of the first ones we'd like attempted to go in. I have a hidden, very Italian name that nobody knows, but it's on my license. And at the time, a lot of people, check the IDs when you get in these clubs because they do alcohol. And I was like, I'm not going in there because I have a very Italian name. And it was just a bunch of Japanese dudes with clearly like Yakuza because they're trying to hide their sleeves. It was like the summer and they're all wearing like full long sleeves. And like
we walked in and we walked out, right?
Yes, we walked in.
Okay, I do remember now. Yes, we were looking for karaoke bar.
This is not our place.
And we walked in. Yeah, we were the only white people there, and everyone looked at us like, "Dude, this is not the place for you."
Yeah, it's like I'm waiting for.
Really, I mean, if you're gonna have a gang hideout, like, why would you? Everyone loves karaoke. Like, shouldn't you just like put some odd?
It's the Japanese minute. You missed it. Okay, continue.
I'm just saying, like, if you're running a front for something, like, wouldn't you have it like less exciting? Like
because a lot of people want to go there.
Like, yeah, like, oh, it's like. oh, this is like a sumo wrestling fan bar.
Yeah.
Like, like, oh, no, who's going to go in there? Like, and then you can just do your gang activities.
Yeah, yeah.
But like everyone says like, oh, who wants to do karaoke? Like, yeah, let's do karaoke. Then you roll in and it's like, no one's actually singing.
No, nobody was singing. I just remember like dudes in suits with shades on in the night in the summer. And I was like, this is not where we want to be.
Did we find a karaoke bar that night?
Yeah,
Joe?
we did. We went like literally the next block over, and we went to, I think it's called Sing Sing. I think that's what we.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, and we did sing. Okay, good.
Yeah, we did. We got a private.
Do you remember
room
what song we sang? Oh, a private room.
Yeah, it was
nice.
just me and you and a bottle of lube.
Oh yeah.
And then we sang afterwards. We're talking about two different nights. Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
How do you have that memory? So Joe has his memory resets every 7 years, and that had to be
4 years. You're giving
at least 21 years ago, Joe. So I don't know.
No. There are certain things that stand out. I have my childhood trauma memories of all my stories.
And every time Joe ran into a non-white person, apparently,
I always remember
sticks out when Joe's in a minority. Yeah, he remembers his first. He remembers the time we went to see Chris Rock live doing stand-up. He remembers the time that the subway doors opened at 125th Street in Harlem for just a little bit too long.
I remember the first time I found out Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish was black.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was standing in John's apartment holding a cup. It's like time travel. It just brings me right back. Hootie's black. Anyway,
that explains it. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to, you know what? I should just always trigger my memory.
Just by thinking of like, what non-white person was there? And you could remember. Oh yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah. I guess when Obama was president, I had a better.
He's a very, very strong memory of 2008, 2016. Yeah.
That's why it stopped. It stops right around there.
It's like Iraq War. I don't remember. Iraq War. No. I remember when the president wore a tan suit.
Oh God, Tim's dying. The drugs have gotten to him.
Do we pull out podcasts from Russia yet?
No. See, this is the thing.
Are we the only Western?
We're the only Western influence.
Western media, and
if we become big in Russia,
people are like bootlegging our podcasts across the border,
on
sneaking it in like sardine cans or something, like
on reel-to-reel tape.
And they're like strapping it in, like
they're coiling it up in a ball.
Yeah. If you're listening to this in Russia, just know someone took the USB and stuck it up their butthole to bring our podcast to you, and we appreciate you listening to us.
Well, that's the thing. Like we bring
describing porn to the Russians. So they can't view it.
We have to do like an audio play of
we have to do like an audio. We'll do audio books.
See, that podcast idea would have worked. The reviewing of porn.
Yeah, but this would be like just like a stepsister. Stepsister blonde. Okay. She seems to be doing laundry. Uh-oh, I think something has gone wrong.
Wrong music. There we go.
She appears to be stuck in the washing machine. Oh no, who's going to help her? Oh, here comes her stepbrother.
We have to get it. Our show needs to be dubbed in Russian.
He seems to have just come from a rugby practice for some reason. He's trying to get her stuck, and he's pulling her by her panties. Her panties have fallen off.
And then they got stolen out the window.
The burglars come in. In the interim, but between when she was stuck in the washing machine and when the stepbrother came home, a burglar came in and stole her panties right off her.
So this is a very elaborate porn.
Well, I'm helping the Russians. They don't have Pornhub anymore, so I'm describing the porn. So
that's going to get taken out of context. That one phrase. Well, we're helping the Russians. Offended Radio.
Sanctions. Yeah.
Fucking Apple
providing aid and comfort by describing
propaganda. Yeah. Banned. Oh man. Well, I have a few things. We have to go to a commercial break soon. So I'll do a quick. So the Legos There's more sets coming.
God, there are more Legos.
But they'll come out after the break. Listen to some new Lego sets.
Someone's been brainstorming, I see.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Are you looking for more talk radio? You can find all of Season 1 of Be Offended and Season 2 of The Inappropriate Guys at BeOffendedRadio.com.
And we're back. It's going to be different every time. I don't know how long I can keep this up. Oh, wait, that's wrong. Yeah, so there's been some new Lego sets that that you didn't think would have been made, and
but they were made.
Yeah, but apparently they were
immediately banned.
Immediately banned, not just in Russia but all over the world. In the series of Lego sets that only need to be half built to be completed. There's an Oklahoma City building that just happened to be exploded from one half, and yeah, that set's an easy set to build.
Okay,
but the aftermath, you have to do a little investigation, and it takes a little while.
I like it's like kind of like a dollhouse.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's right. You could just see all the
very
squares.
hard. Yeah, it's like very hard for children to play with, like the houses that have all
it's
sides
enclosed.
on it.
Yeah,
because enclosed. But like a dollhouse, it's like you have the front of it, then you turn around and it's all open. So I guess it's really easy to move the little Lego man back and forth inside of your Oklahoma City federal building Lego set, which apparently was issued in the 90s, and then immediately banned.
Immediately like, oh wait.
So Joe does a lot of research for this bit on the internet.
Yeah,
just researching. It's kind of like the antique shows.
Oh, no.
So Joe actually, between the internet and traveling the country, so that's how Joe finds out about these actual Lego sets that were made and then discontinued. Yes. They were in bad taste.
Yeah. I found another one.
Okay.
It was Pompeii, the Lego set. This one, it was another one that was very easy to build. Ages 0 to 3. You just dump out the box and
then you pour like a lot of hot glue on it. That was the only. I remember that Lego set was very controversial because it came with a hot glue gun.
That you had and a bag of dust.
Yeah. So it took two people to assemble because one person had to toss and blow the dust, while the other person activated the hot glue gun. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was another.
You had to stick the little Lego people together.
Yeah.
Next to each other, embracing, before finishing it with the dust and hot glue gun.
Yes.
Set.
And the last set that I had discovered, which was immediately banned. Immediately, it was made and then banned. Some may say it was made in the South first, and then is just a generic cotton plantation set from the 1700s. And
oh my God,
it was very accurate in its portrayal of the 1700s.
That's out of all the ways you were going to go with that, was like probably the least offensive. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to quit my own show. I'm gonna just walk off my own podcast.
I told you I'm going to the less obscure ones. I'm dodging.
God.
And weeping.
Yeah.
So it's 1700s cotton plantation in Southern America.
Yeah, though that one was controversial for several reasons. Because one of the other reasons was it had all these ancillary sets of like police cars and other people that you had to surround your Lego set with. So just in case any of the pieces fell off the set, then you'd have to be able to use your ancillary.
So I think it was the first introduction to Lego dogs as well. Jesus Christ. Okay, all right, we're done with the Lego sets.
Well, keep up your research, Joe. I'm very impressed that you were able to. I'm
keeping this bit going.
I'm very impressed of your research of how you just scour the internet and the country for these actual Lego sets that were canceled for being very, very inappropriate and offensive, which is, of course, why they stopped making them.
Why, of course, we're talking about it because it's Be Offended Radio.
Yeah. That's so. I have a. It's like a chicken or the egg, right?
Ooh, okay.
So they've done studies. They did research, right?
Uh-huh.
And they say that attractive people have better immune systems.
Is this true?
Yeah, they published. So they had 79 women and 80 men from TCU, and they had their photos taken and their blood tested.
Oh,
right, and they were photographed from the neck up. They were ordered to keep a neutral facial expression, and the women were not allowed to wear makeup.
Of
right?
course, yeah.
So then afterwards, they had 492 people, volunteers, rate the attractiveness of the people in the pictures. They then
why are we ever a part of these studies?
They then correlated their ratings and cross-examined them with the results of the blood test, and they found that the people who were more attractive did better on their blood tests.
I mean, that kind of just makes sense as is, because usually attractive people are thin, and by default, you're more attractive.
Well, they took it just from their face, so you couldn't tell.
Oh, you could tell. Are you kidding me? That's like when fucking Ray Charles touches the women's wrists to see if they're fat. Oh. You can fucking tell. That jawline cannot lie. Those
little puffiness on the eyes.
Yeah. No. The cheek bones.
So I tend to, and that's the interesting. Like I it's fun that they did a scientific study, but I would say
they did it wrong.
No, that part of attractiveness is actually
being healthy.
There's something innate in us in knowing a good mate.
Yes,
right?
That's the whole point of it. That's the reason why we like a hot-looking girl versus.
So, for example, like let's say you enjoy sex outside of a committed relationship, and let's say you also don't enjoy using condoms, right?
Yes.
So the people you are attracted to don't, and they end up not giving you STDs. Isn't that kind of like a science experiment? Right? So like there's plenty of people who could have possibly, like there's plenty of people.
Have we been doing this experiment?
Who may have been like, oh, I want to have sex with you, but for whatever reason, you're not attracted to them. And then there's other people who you're like, oh, I do want to have sex with them. Then you have sex, perhaps unprotected, and then no one gets an STD. So it seems to me that there's something that we don't understand in our evolutionary survival through all these years, is that I think we are actually driven on like some like instinctual level to have sex with people who are healthy.
There's two things here. One is, have you seen World War Z?
Yes.
Okay, so the whole spoiler alerts, everybody. If you haven't fucking watched a movie, it's 12 years old.
Alarm.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, there we go. Spoiler alert. Okay, so in World War Z, the movie, not the actual one that's coming later,
because we ran out of letters.
Yeah. To quote the movie, the chink in the virus's armor. I'm quoting the movie.
Oh God! Oh, yeah. I thought there's a reason you got kicked out of the karaoke place again.
Wrong race, but okay.
You forgot about that that memory.
Yeah.
The reason everyone looked at you weird.
No, was that it only wants a healthy host. So in the movie, like all of the zombies would be able to sense that someone was ill and had some kind of fatal, disease or whatever, and they wouldn't infect them, and they were like immune to it.
Yeah, the people who were World War Z, that was the fun thing. So they gave everyone like tuberculosis, or they gave everyone
a curable but horrible disease. Yes,
I think liver or something. What's the liver things? What's the thing?
Alcoholism.
Hepatitis.
Okay.
I think everyone hepatitis.
Okay. I liked if they just made everybody alcoholics. That would have been a better ending. Everybody's livers are destroyed. They're all drunk. They're all walking around like zombies anyway because they're drunk. This is a way better plot.
World War Z was pretty good.
Hollywood. Okay, so
So
I think that's what this is. This is we naturally, dogs can sense when someone has, pregnant or AIDS or all these things that they can sniff out, and so I think we can actually do that too.
Because I have found that in my own life that there have been people who were less attractive and also happened to be like consistent migraines or like, you know, like whatever, like there was something,
something's always
like
a little
something
askew.
like some kind of long term health thing where the people who I had mated with, for lack of a better, for use of scientific terms.
This is a scientific minute.
Tended to, so for example, my wife, we've never had colds.
To this conversation. Oh, okay.
We never get colds or the flu.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was the only person to not get COVID that I know.
Yeah, I have never gotten COVID either. That's why you and me are lovers.
Well, you never leave the house though. So
no, I'm always traveling across the whole the United States and hanging out.
But no one wants to get within 6 feet of you, so it's very different. No, but anyway, but it's. And it turns out, like, you know, with having a kid, it was very easy for us, you know, so there was something like just it's anecdotal. So it's fun that this is a science experiment, but anecdotally, like I was always only like attracted to with people who were actually healthy. And like the people who were attracted to me who were not healthy tended to like, you know, stay away. Like it's interesting. So this is a scientific experiment. We'll continue monitoring this.
Oh, we are.
But yeah,
does your wife know that? Does she know that you're actively participating in this experiment? Do you need to call the mayor of?
Yeah.
I think there's a club.
She doesn't go on Facebook that often. She doesn't know what groups I'm a part of, I guess. But yeah. So anyway, I think that tends to be because you do see that often in relationships where like there's like two gross people together and then like two people like to run together.
Which is why it's so weird when you see like the hot girl with the ugly dude. Or the ugly, you know, chick with the hot dude. And you're like,
but is that your brain using it? Like, is that your, you know, so like your brain can,
it's preservation. I think it's our trigger to being like, no, don't breed. Cause you're going to make another one of those.
Well, no, because you do have those mismatch. So I, for a few years, were definitely spent time in long-term relationships with I think most of my friends considered lessers, right?
Questionable,
questionable. It's like, what is this guy doing? Like, like she's a pretty face and she's nice, but like, I don't get it. Like, I don't really understand, you know? So, but like, that was my brain being like, well, she wants to have sex with you. And like, you know, like
it was
that was
hormones,
not like, that wasn't, no, it wasn't hormones.
Oh, you think it wasn't hormones?
I think that was like the brain being like, well, she's really nice and this and that. And like, she's a good job, whatever it is. So like your brain can talk you into it.
Okay.
Where like, but like deep down chemically, you're like, no, this is not like who I will pass my seed on to because this is not like genes that I want to be spliced with mine. Right. So I think when you see like, you know, like the good looking woman with like the gross guy, like maybe it's like that mental, like, well, I need to procreate. I don't want my bloodline to die. So let's just do it. Right. But I you know, like they never seem to be as in love. I don't know. I mean, if you're in a mismatch relationship, email us at angryhatemail@gmail.com.
Yes, tell
us. Like, you know, is it, you know, do you talk yourself into it? Sex every night with your partner?
Oh, God.
Or is it this animalistic?
Or
like,
are you picturing
attraction?
somebody else while you're sleeping with them?
Yeah. But, and, you know, because he had a good job, because she had, you know, whatever.
Do you
like
want to put a paper bag over their head? So
anyway, that's just my thoughts.
No, I got something to touch on that.
Yeah, we need more scientific data here.
When I was a young lad, and I fucked a lot.
Language. This is my podcast.
Your podcast. It's our podcast. We all know what happened when you did the show on your own. I couldn't even listen to that whole episode. I had to speed through it.
You don't listen to me when we podcast together. Why would you listen to me when I did a podcast without you?
I'm looking at 4 different screens trying to figure out what button to push and what topic to bring up.
Joe had to listen to me in the podcast. We've done 4 seasons and he's never listened to me.
In my head, all it is how do I segue to what I want to talk about? No, in my phase of fucking as a young lad, there was a time. Have you
gone out of that phase, Joe? Do you age out of that?
So there was a I was like heavy into data.
So you were heavy. I do remember those years.
I was into dating apps, and I was on like a few at a time, trying to like serial date, and there was this girl who had, she was cute and she was nice, and I had like good conversations with her over the phone. And so we went on like this first date, this non-blind blind date.
Oh.
And it was in Manhattan, and we went to this little coffee place, whatever. I don't know what the fuck it was. But we went there, and she walks in, and she has a limp. And I don't think anything of it because I'm like, okay, maybe she tweaked her ankle like before, or she's into some sports, she plays soccer, whatever. There's a million reasons why you could have a limp. And so we have this date, and I'm waiting for her to bring it up. Because usually when people, like, if I showed up with, like, my finger in a splint or something, obviously I'm going to talk about it. I'm not just going to let that be oblivious. So I was like, okay, eventually she'll bring it up. We have an entire date, and it's like the end of the date, and I'm walking her because she lived in Manhattan at the time, so I walked her to her train. And she didn't bring it up. And I'm like, okay. What is this just a thing? And so when we like parted ways, because I didn't have the balls to ask her in face to face, I kind of texted her. I was like, hey, had a good night. So what happened to your leg? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh no. She was so oblivious to it because she's had it her whole life.
Oh, so she just walks funny,
she
or it's like one leg shorter than the other or something?
A leg.
I thought she had like a fake leg or something.
Maybe she had like a prosthetic foot, which would have been better, I think, because at least I would have been like, oh yeah, it's just missing. But the fact that there was something like wrong with that, like everything else was nice about her, but that was the turn off that made me not go on the second date. I just couldn't get past the limp. Because I just pictured like all of my romantic moments together,
like
walking down
like,
the aisle.
Walking down the aisle. Yeah.
It's just like hobble. Oh, let's go. Let's go to the top of this
stroll on the beach.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. Let's go to the top of this little mountain here. Hobble. Like let's have our first dance. Hobble. So like that immediately, and I know I sound like a horrible human being, but there's a reason why all the rest of you fuckers who are listening to the show are also not dating someone with a limp.
Well, I mean, if she was, like it sounded like she was nice and she had a pretty face and she had a nice, so like, like it definitely. There's science behind it. I do think.
Of course there is. Yeah. No one, boy, Tim for not having COVID has something.
I didn't bring in, I don't have a cider today. So usually if you listen real close, you can hear me sipping when Joe's talking. Usually keeps my throat lubricated.
Such an alcoholic.
I'm surrounded by 3 soundproofing panels.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're very dusty. So it's like between the dust and not having a drink.
Take those things out and beat them every once in a while.
But yeah, no, I think
not the girl with the
Darwinism and survival of the fittest, like as far as like the fastest sperm gets to the egg, like science says that. And
the broken tail doesn't work with the sperm.
We have to be conditioned, as mean as it is, like we have to be conditioned to want to mate with the person who has like one leg shorter than the other. Like that's just like our instincts tells you to find like the most suitable mate.
Such a scientific show.
And society tells you, well, no, everyone deserves to love beauties on the inside, whatever it is, so it's this, that's why the scientific research is so important because
it proves that we've been right all these years.
It actually proves that people who are shallow, like maybe or know what they're doing.
Yes.
Like to find the most attractive person, and because we're not doing too well as a species. I mean, we're not sending our best and brightest. I mean, I believe, as they say, like you have people who. This
all-encompassing, just date everybody, love on the inside, blah, 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 blah. I think that's what's causing the down of society. I think we should bring back our hatred for the Dove.
Be yourself ads?
Yeah, be yourself, equal whatever, campaign.
See, then what the problem is, Joe, it's like, what if you're...
I'm one?
What if you're the unlikable? Like, what if you're the unsuitable? Like what if you're just a little
Everybody
too short,
has
or
their
a little
own
too
bracket.
heavy?
That's the thing. Like, date within your bracket. It goes
but
back to high school rules. She's out of your league, man.
But I'm saying, I think leaving the bracket is something your brain makes you do because you don't want to be lonely. But I think even the ugliest, and maybe I'm in that category, right? But even if I'm the ugliest
you
person,
definitely dated up.
Which is what I'm saying. So
what's wrong with your wife? What is
Nothing.
She? What? That's the problem, though. Like,
well,
what's wrong?
Well, she has really bad vision.
Yeah. She never, since she was a child, she never went to the eye doctor.
Maybe she's the one in the relationship who gave up.
Yeah.
You know, maybe she's the one. She's like, my eggs are expiring, and
you got to start seeding the planet.
Yeah, and she found the good mate. You know, and so yeah, it's.
Yep, I agree. Well, Tim has a
yeah, no, I'm saying, but what is so? I just don't believe, like, when you see, like they wrestle. Let's say you're driving past the Coliseum and there's wrestling matches, right? So it's a lot of single guys, but then there's also like guys with their girlfriends or wives, and like you see, like they're both like 5'6", and they're like round, and like the guy's bald, and she's like a little, like she's got like giant glasses on.
So,
but like he was attracted to the girls on the volleyball team. Like he is attracted to the girls on the volleyball team.
Everybody's
like,
attracted to the hot people.
Some of us marry them and some of us don't. So like what's in his brain that he was just like, okay, I'm just going to give up on the volleyball girls and be with this 4. And then the 4 wanted to be with the baseball team, and the baseball team didn't want to be there with the volleyball girls. And now she's like, I'm just going to take this short balding guy who likes wrestling. And like, that's like, because scientifically that doesn't work. Scientifically, they should be fighting for the attractive people.
There needs to be a scientific, there needs to be a study congruent with this that also shows laziness and desperation correlating to people who are dating out of their circle.
So it's just, you think it's just stick-to-itiveness?
I think it's I'm desperate. I'm 39 years old. I'm a woman who's not going to be able to have a child, unless I have someone now. Let's go to a bar. Oh, there's a guy. He has a head and legs. I guess this is the one.
Do you know people who have just randomly been impregnated?
Yes, I know many.
Yeah,
I'm not a part of it, but I know many.
That all of a sudden, like, they don't even talk about who.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm going to go. I'm going to lie to the man and tell him I'm on birth control.
Yep, and then bam.
And I'm not ever going to see him again, and I'm not going to, so my child will not have a father.
Yeah.
No, I know a few people like that.
I don't think we could do the bit on the air.
Have you ever done the math to see if someone did that to you?
What, tried to impregnate me? What do you mean?
No, there's been a few times where I had to like do the math, where like someone who I had been with, like then all of a sudden, like without ever having any evidence of having a boyfriend or a fiance or being married, like all of a sudden is like pops out a baby. And I literally have to sit there and like do the math in my head to find out if that was me.
Yeah.
Like I was the guy who she just randomly like stole sperm from. And didn't tell. Yeah.
There was a day I remember coming over to your house. See, it's races and sexual dodges that I remember clear as a bell. I remember coming over to your house and saying, "Oh man, I dodged a bullet," because a girl that I was dating ended up being pregnant, but it wasn't me. I was like, "Thank God," because I think she like got accidentally knocked up, and then she decided to keep the kid, and I was like, "Oh God, no, that was."
But then like sometimes they don't tell the father. Like I know people who have children, and they don't know like who the father, like they'll never know who their father is, because it was just like the woman was like, I want to have a baby, so I'm gonna go and get pregnant. I don't know why and the man doesn't even know he has a kid. Like there's men in this world
sitting there with a needle poking holes in some condoms.
Idea. There's men in this world who have no idea they have children. Like at all, because
I'm glad that I'm not
wanted
one
nothing from them. You might be. That's what I'm saying.
No. I track and follow.
Thank God Apple invented those little tags.
Yes, we have tags. We've got GPS.
John's doing like they do with the sharks in the Joe is doing like they do with the sharks in the wild.
Just tag and release.
He's doing. You guys tell Joe's ex-girlfriend, because they have the little yellow tab around their ankle, like the birds they do, like when they're tracking the geese migration to Canada.
They always thought that it was like a fetish, and they were like, Alex, oh, that hurt. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just into some kinky shit. Meanwhile, they know I'm just jabbing him with some fucking dog tag.
A piercing fetish or something. Yeah, it's really just like a little tracker so he can.
I only date girls with certain piercings.
Yeah, Joe gets an alert. Joe gets an alert if they get anywhere within a delivery room. Joe has every delivery room mapped out in the country, and if they get anywhere near it gets an alarm out.
We have to do it on another show, but we tried to have the girl was on our first season way back, and I have the episode. We'll play the clip. Well, I'll get the clip for it.
We try to get induced labor.
Yes. So there's more to that story, and I'm sure it'll be a good part for a new episode. So
okay,
yeah,
cool.
We'll do that another time. I got the clip for it. But anywho, we gotta go. We're way past time.
To follow up on that, I did track. There was I did. There was one person who was never on social media or something, and I've been unable to locate. So it remains possible that did happen to me. It is possible, but it's been about. Well, I mean, God, what? It was probably 12 years ago.
I wouldn't announce this on the air.
It's possible though. No, it is possible. Well, I'm not giving out the details of who the person was. So like if all of a sudden I start getting like DMs from people claiming to be my 12-year-old kid, like they would not have any details of who the mother is. But yeah, no, there's one person in my list who I never like. We had no mutual friends. Like we wouldn't live geographically near each other. Like she wasn't on social media. And could technically have just like stolen my sperm.
Episode is doing, right? This
everyone. I hope everyone gets really scared. Yes, that's the point of this.
Everybody now is freaking out about their college years. It'd be like, wait a second, did I? There was a lot of questionable times when I don't remember if I did or didn't have sex on like the beach or there's some random like party. No,
that's
somewhere.
What you should never sleep. If you were truly a stud growing up, you should never sleep soundly at night. There's a possibility that one of those arrows hit the bullseye. One day you get a little knock on the door. You know, they're going to sign up for ancestry.com and they're going to get I got a question. I guess I'm fine because we did do like that 23andMe and I did not get like any weird like people I didn't know. Like,
there's someone out in
direct
South
relationship and it's someone in like Riverhead. Like what the
Okay, so I got one more thing to add to that, which is when I've had like times when I've had sex, I usually put like down the name of the person. Do you have a list? I mean, you might have deleted it, but did you have a list?
No, it's a list in my head that I'll go over every once in a while.
To remember?
Like practicing like your French or something. Yeah.
So I have an actual like list. And unfortunately, some of those
fucking evidence in like 4 states.
Some of those names are not the names of the
Zodiac
girl.
killer. It's like his manifesto, Joe's sex manifesto. They're gonna find him in a cabin with like just these lists of names. Like, oh my God.
But I like some of them don't have names because by the time I decided to make the list, it was like the 4-year like gap. So they're just descriptions of like the girl and the time that it happened. So there's like, back of the seat, what's it called? Girl, it's like, like there's like things like that I wouldn't be able to track them down if I wanted to. Because I don't have their names.
Fortunately for me, it's not like I have to memorize all the numbers of pi.
Oh yeah, no, mine is pi.
It's a strong list, but it's more like singing the ABCs kind of situation.
Okay.
And not like memorizing pi. I think I could see why you'd write that down.
Mine's long and a little bit.
You're like when Apple says like, oh, do you want to like use a suggested password or choose your own?
No,
my list is to choose your own, and yours is like definitely more the suggested password, like a bunch of like ampersands and like letters and like
dashes
Cyrillic, and like it doesn't quite fit in the screen. It like continues on like a little too far.
And it has to scroll.
Like, there's just no way you could possibly memorize it because there's just so many different characters and genders. In it.
Genders? No, one gender.
Oh, now Joe's listening. Joe picks one word per episode to listen to.
You just shit on me about anything else, but call me gay. No.
I may be a communist and a porn star, but I am not a homosexual.
I may have questionable taste in women.
But, sure, I donate to Pelosi every month, but
but women who are swimming for the wrong team is not one of them. All right, we gotta go. It's been a very long
reference, though. I like that.
Find us everywhere. You know the deal. Email us, angryhatemail@gmail.com. It's a real email. Email us. We won't rate your dick pic, but we will rate your vagina pic.